Welcome to False Count Anywhere here on the Rhode Island Broadcasting Network. Erik Dunn here from the Barrington Public Library in Barrington, Rhode Island. Yeah, I'm actually here because I have an event I'm doing later on tonight, which is funny that I'm actually here, but I figured I wanted to avoid traffic from where I was, 24 195, because I'm in Bridgewater. But I think guys are joining me here after coming off a tremendous weekend for WWE. Backlash was live in France and it was a damn good show. Even though there was only five, yep, I'll say it again. Even though there was only five matches, it was a very good program. So throughout the time we have together, I'll give you the results of my predictions of those five matches. Talk about King and Queen of the Ring on May 25th from Saudi Arabia, and a little bit of a added filler there at the end of something that I discovered that was announced over the weekend as well regarding WrestleMania 41 in 25. And I'll be breaking all that down for you throughout our time together. With that being said, this broadcast of False Count Anywhere is the exclusive property of Erik Dunn Productions in 990 WBOB for the private use of our audience and any use. Oh, sorry. I just goofed on that. Let me start that over. This broadcast of False Count Anywhere is the exclusive property of Erik Dunn, Rodrigo, and Rhode Island Broadcasting for the use of our audience. Any publication, reuse, or redistribution is not prohibited. It is given the express consent to be shared by Rodrigo, Erik Dunn, and Rhode Island Broadcasting, and is greatly appreciated. I caught myself on that one. But yeah, just to bring it up too, as for those that may not be fully, completely unaware of this either, the logo on my shirt is the Providence Bruins, and that was something I talked about on my show. I pre-recorded Monday for 990WBOB.com. I'm done with sports, is that the Providence Bruins have game 3 of their round tonight against Hartford in the Calder Cup playoffs. So I'll be watching that with a watch party with the Providence Bruins fan club later on tonight. So that's why I'm actually here, to avoid traffic going down there anyway. But however, WWE, as I mentioned, had a phenomenal weekend, and they were very good in this event. This event was phenomenal for WWE. They were instrumental in taking care of all of the precautions that were necessary. The biggest thing that WWE did with all of this was they were able to draw in a very passionate crowd. France was a very passionate crowd. They were rambunctious. They were energetic. I mean, they were singing a lot of theme songs too. Like, that was a really cool sign. Like, that was a cool thing. And also on top of that, before I go any further, because I just got a comment, speaking of this logo, if you add in the other layer of this, the Boston side, the Bees have got game 2 tonight against the Florida Panthers as well. So Boston and Providence are both, I got my eyes on both right now. But Backlash was a great event. And the reason why it was great was because the audience in France made it in a category of just their own. And what made it special for me was going back and hearing just how good they were. And believe me when I tell you how good they were. So we'll go from top to bottom. The street fight between Solo Sikoa and Tama Tonga versus Randy Orton and KO Kevin Owens. Unfortunately, I got this one wrong. And I was really mad I got this one wrong. What happened was, before the match even began, all 4 superstars engaged in a melee with WWE officials, including SmackDown GM Nick Aldis, trying to break it up. He turned the bout into a street fight to get rid of the tag team rules. However, Tonga's brother, Tangaloa, appeared to help the new look Bloodline. And because of that interference, the Bloodline is not only strong, it's growing strong. And here's the problem with it. Paul Heyman was in the corner, scared of his life. Like, when he was putting up the 1, the look in his eyes was fear. Because if Roman was still here, he wouldn't have let any of that happen. On top of that, as I mentioned this to you last week, Reigns took himself out of the WWE draft. No, I'm sorry. Paul Heyman admitted on SmackDown Friday night that he took Reigns out of the draft. So a lot of question marks right now regarding the state of Reigns and him coming back this summer. Maybe. What I will say, however, with all of that being said right now, the biggest thing was that one I got wrong. The next one I did get right, though, however. Bayley defended her women's title against Naomi and Tiffany Stratton and won. But here's the funny part. So Stratton nailed a pair of Alabama slams, but her attempt at a double prettiest moonsault ever went awry as Naomi and Bayley hit their own version of the 1D. One and done. That move left Bayley and Naomi alone as the champion countered a pinfall attempt to one of her own to secure her first title defense as champion. So that one I got right. This one I was very pissed off that I got wrong. For the World Heavyweight title, Priest retained against Jey Uso. So here's the whole story behind it. After an electrifying entrance through the incredible crowd in Lynn, France, Jey Uso played mind games with Damian Priest, none to the delight of the LH champion. After an intense back and forth, Priest's Judgment Day teammate JD McDonough made his presence felt, although the champion berated his friend, much like he's done in recent weeks, despite being advised against this. Uso couldn't find a way to put Priest away, and to make matters worse, Finn Balor came out to help the champion, allowing Priest to hit a South of Heaven chokeslam to take control. With no other option, Uso was forced to take out the Judgment Day, but the distraction was long enough for Priest to recover and hit a ring-shattering South of Heaven chokeslam again to retain his title. But after the match, McDonough and Balor attempted to continue the beatdown, but they were surprisingly shut down by the World Heavyweight Champion. Could we potentially see a face turn for Priest? Because here's where I look at it. The leader of Judgment Day would not stop his own teammates and members of doing a beatdown like that. I'm just going to keep this in the back of your minds for a second. If Priest turns face, think about that. Judgment Day could be disintegrating before we know it. Not sure, but it could be disintegrating. I have no way of knowing right now if Jay's going to get a rematch. It would be nice if he did, but that's a question mark. So right now, I'm 1-2. This one, I got this one maybe 2-2, and it wasn't a squash match, but I was so happy that the right one won, the right team won. Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill are the new women's tag team champions. They dethroned them in impressive fashion. This match, in my eyes, is featuring two of the biggest powerhouses in the history of the women's division of WWE. I mean, you put Belair and Cargill next to each other, the power, the strength of these women is unbelievable. Watching this match, I knew how strong Belair was. I didn't really know how strong Cargill was. But however, I did think back to when there was a moment at the Royal Rumble in January where she eliminated Nia Jax. And Nia Jax is the heaviest woman in WWE. So think about that for a second. That strength doesn't come easily. Like, you work for that strength. You work for that type of power to have in your arsenal. I mean, think about that. Like, humongous, earth-shattering power. Big congratulations to them. I'm excited to see how long their run is. And then the main event was for the WWE Championship. Cody retained against AJ. Listen to how all of this went. There was a big fight feel in front of the raucous Lynn France crowd as Cody defended the undisputed WWE Championship against AJ Styles. The American Nightmare had the French crowd in the palm of his hand as they cheered on his every move, but it wasn't long before the Phenomenal One used his newfound aggressiveness to target Rose's shoulder and back. The resiliency of Rose shined through as he managed to hit a disaster kick, but his attempt at a Cody cutter was expertly countered by AJ right into a Death Valley Driver neckbreaker. The first time I ever saw AJ do that, that was when he had his rivalry almost 8 years ago with Cena. Money in the Bank, SummerSlam. I think SummerSlam was when I really saw that. People thought he was going to do an AA on him, an attitude adjustment, but it turned into an attitude adjustment neckbreaker. After getting hit with an apron on the suplex, after getting hit with a suplex on the apron, Cody powered through by hitting AJ with a powerbomb onto the French announce table. Both superstars were determined to give it their all as Cody kicked out of a burning hammer before hitting a gravity-defying Super Cody cutter from the top rope. The deafening crowd rose to their feet as the champion set up the challenger in position for a skull-crushing crossroads to deliver the American Nightmare his first title defense in a match that only could be described as too sweet. So I went 3-2. You know, I'm not too upset about that. I'm pretty thrilled. But that night, though, the whole time, that France crowd picked who they wanted to cheer for. They knew who were the faces and who were the heels. But I think AJ got a good ovation, too, I think. Probably not the one you expect as a heel, but, you know. The whole night overall, for me, in my opinion, was the matches were well done. They were thought out. They weren't rushed. And with that being said, all eyes now go to King and Queen of the Ring. That is correct. King and Queen of the Ring on the 25th in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. But I am going to tell you right now that there is a lot of question marks on who is going to be walking in there with the potential to become King and Queen of the Ring. Raw and SmackDown, I believe, are doing tournaments right now to actually determine who is closer to that. And also on Raw Monday night, a couple matches were also confirmed in that. Let me actually try to see, because I believe I found that earlier. So the biggest thing I saw with Raw Monday night, and I'll kind of tie into it by kind of giving you just a little bit of a summary of all this, is that looking at the King of the Ring tournament, Drew McIntyre was supposed to go against Jay, but the problem was he was not medically cleared to compete. So, sorry. It was supposed to be Drew and Finn, but Jay took on Finn instead, and Jay got the victory. I was happy about that. Maybe Jay will be the one to be King of the Ring. Who knows? All I know is the matches that were set in stone for that Raw goes as followed. And these were the results of Raw. And I'll kind of give it to you quickly here. So Priest apologized for getting angry at Finn and JD when he interfered in his match. Jay defeated Finn Balor in the first round, so he's going to the semifinal. Oh, yeah, this was hysterical. When McIntyre drove away pissed off, Punk showed up right after. He called himself the unforgiving conscience of Drew McIntyre's actions and called him out, and he didn't show up, of course. Asuka defeated Natalya in the first round, Queen of the Ring tournament. Elijah Dragunov defeated Ricochet in the first round. He advanced. Zoe Stark defeated Ivy Nile to advance. Sami Zayn inside a brawl during Big Bronson Reed's match with Chad Gable. Becky Lynch came face to face as they prepare to face, she prepares to face Liv Morgan and defend her title at King and Queen of the Ring, but Lara Volkera helped Lynch fight off damage control when Liv just got out of the ring like a coward and just left. And then Lara Volkera defeated Dakota Kai in that first round match, and then the main event was Gunther and Sheamus. And Sheamus tapped out to a half crab. So next week we will have the semifinals for that match. And something that I want to tell you right now regarding that match for WWE is it's huge. Is we're already going to be in the semifinals of the tournament, and looking at the calendar, I'm pulling up the calendar right now on my phone here. Looking at the calendar right now, it is getting very, very close to King and Queen of the Ring, because I believe looking at the calendar right now, we are about 2.5 weeks away. So you would think that either next week it should be I think either next week or the week after it will be the finals, and then all eyes are going to be on Jeddah, Saudi Arabia for a very big main event. And believe me, it's going to be a big main event, and I am stoked on that 100%. I'm very excited. On top of all of that, my big concern with WWE is who are they going to give the opportunities to? Who's going to get the chance to make history? Because anyone can make history. You know what I mean? Like anyone can make history. But who's going to get that push? Because whoever's king and queen of the ring is going to get that push. But it just has to come down to who's the right one to get the push. But however, the two matches that have been confirmed for king and queen of the ring, as I mentioned, Becky Lynch and Liv Morgan, that has already been confirmed, as well as Sami Zayn defending his Intercontinental title against Chad Gable and Bronson Reed in a triple threat match. That has been confirmed. And in 2 weeks from today, when I give you guys the entire card and give you my preview, I'll give you everything that you need to know. Everything. The biggest thing I will tell you with WWE is they're on the verge of making Saudi Arabia huge with this premium live event. Like, I'm excited for this. This should be a great event. But speaking of events, and this is how I'm going to wrap up the broadcast here, WrestleMania 41 is no longer in Minneapolis, Minnesota. It was announced over the weekend. It's going to Vegas. And it's going to be the latest WrestleMania in WWE history. So take a listen to this. April 19th and 20th, 2025. Yeah. So Nick Khan, the president of WWE, stated, and I quote, "Las Vegas is the sports and entertainment capital of the world, and Allegiant Stadium has proven to be even greater than the A-plus venue Las Vegas guaranteed it would be. We look forward to bringing WWE's biggest event, WrestleMania, to Vegas and Allegiant Stadium so we can collectively make WrestleMania 41 on April 19th and 20th of 25 the most successful WWE event of all time." And Steve Hill from the Las Vegas Convention and Visitors Authority, the president and CEO, stated, "Bringing the iconic global brands of WWE and Vegas together will create what is sure to be an unforgettable event and weekend. As the sports and entertainment capital of the world, hosting WrestleMania 41 is the perfect addition to our events calendar. We cannot wait to welcome the WWE Universe to Vegas in 25. Over the last 4 decades, WrestleMania has evolved from a made-for-television spectacle to a cultural phenomenon complete with stadium and arena events, fan festivities, and premium experiences. But in addition to the 2-night stadium event, WWE will also bring Raw, SmackDown, NXT Stand and Deliver, WWE World, and the 25 Hall of Fame ceremony to Vegas, as well as a variety of community outreach events designed to get back to the local region. This past April, WrestleMania 40 was the most successful and highest grossing event in company history, breaking the previous gate set by the WrestleMania previous by 78%, with 145,298 in attendance over 2 nights at Lincoln Financial Field in Philly. It delivered more than $200 million in economic impact for host cities. What do you think? What do you think about that, huh? WrestleMania's going to Vegas? I mean, I know that when it comes to Vegas, like everything goes there. You know what I mean? Like everything goes there. You know, um, I was surprised, to be honest with you, that it wasn't going to be in Minnesota because I thought that when I looked at it last year that it was confirmed that WrestleMania 25 is going to be in Minnesota. That's just weird to me that it's not going to happen. You know what I mean? Like, that's just weird. I don't even know what to think about that. I really don't know what to think about it, except I mean Vegas will be a good crowd. I mean Vegas is a damn good city, but um, it does play a couple question marks when I was looking at that because last year I was talking to you guys about Lesnar and if it was going to be in Minnesota, then maybe Lesnar will have his farewell match and he'll retire from WWE at the WrestleMania. I'm not sure right now. Speaking of which, speaking of Lesnar, there is no news I have on him right now. Um, Lesnar is still MIA, um, according to COO Triple H. No, sorry, CCO Triple H. He's saying that Lesnar is still in Canada, still waiting a call. John Cena, same thing. He won't be around until January. Rock is still coming back in the summer with Cody. It's like, I don't know. But I will say, um, it definitely puts Vegas in the realm of a lot to think about with it being WrestleMania season soon and all that going forward. My big concern for WrestleMania is Vegas going to be kind of like a I don't want to say like a cop out, but too like predictable. Um, yeah, this comment, they're always going to break the record. Prices keep climbing. Yeah, well, I mean that's obvious. Yeah. The way I look at it is this. Oh, okay, sorry. The way I look at it too with WWE is this. I mentioned this to you earlier. They're not back in the States for premium live events until SummerSlam in August, when they're going to be in Cleveland. So my big concern is if you're going to make it big, but just think of what the consequences could be with changing your mind that fast. Um, but that's next year, and we'll cross next year. But however, guys, for next week's broadcast, like I mentioned to you earlier, SmackDown Raw results. I'll be giving you guys everything that you need to prepare for King and Queen of the Ring. But on top of that, hopefully some other ideas will be confirmed for that match. Well, not the match, but for the whole card in general. But 2 weeks from tonight, the card will be at my disposal with my predictions. I think WWE is hanging in there. I mean, I've heard some sources around. People are saying like, the ratings have dropped because Cody's champion and Roman's gone, Rock's gone, blah blah. I mean, I don't think WWE is going to crash and burn and fall flat on their face with Cody as champion. Like, I don't buy that whatsoever. I think that, if it was going to die by now, people would have been demanding that Roman was long gone. So, all I say is, count your blessings until they're gone. You know what I mean? Because you never know. But regarding WWE, they're on the verge of good things, and they still are. So for next week's broadcast, the SmackDown Raw results, and we'll dive in to any more updates on King and Queen of the Ring. So with that being said, on behalf of the man behind the scenes, the creator of Rhode Island Broadcasting, Ron Regal, this is Erik Dunn saying so long and thank you from the Barrington Public Library in Barrington, Rhode Island. This has been a presentation of Falls Gone Anywhere here on the Rhode Island Broadcasting Network. Every Wednesday night, guys, we're live here at 5. Follow us on Facebook and our YouTube channels. Also follow us on Twitter and X and on Twitch. Also follow us on Red Circle, Amazon, Google, Spotify, TuneIn, and Popping Podcast when the show goes up. And next week, guys, we're going to keep diving in. We're getting ready for another event. How cool is this? 2 premium live events in 1 month. Hey, this wrestling guy is not going to complain. Well, guys, we'll catch up next week. Thank you so much for watching. and listening.